tuned in to the Keetria Show and listening to SOB, Style of Business, the podcast with your host, Keetria. We aim to highlight the ongoing trek of entrepreneurs and business owners from around the globe, featuring stories that recount their struggles, experiences, and inevitable road to success and self-fulfillment. Welcome to SOB.
This episode is supported by the wonderful creators of Gratitude Plus app, the app that helps you cultivate a daily practice of gratitude. What are you grateful for today? You can download the app now at the App Store or by visiting gratitudeplusapp.com/style of business. Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in to another hot episode of SOB, Style of Business, the podcast. This is your host, Keetria, and today I have the magnificent, one of my buddies, Escott, who is a business creative in the tech space. He's also doing a lot of things in the music industry, and we're so definitely excited to have him on. He's spending some time with us. Yeah, definitely touching base on the projects that he has his hands in right now and talking about tech, app development, and programming, which are his passions. And then we will get into some other free talk as well. So without further ado, Escott, a.k.a. Dale, as I have recently become to know him as.
Everyone calls me Dale. My middle name, my real middle name is actually Escott, and so is my LLC and my artist name. So either or is good with me.
Either or. Okay, perfect. So I might interchange, go back and forth between both of those throughout the interview. But definitely appreciative and grateful that with the back and forth, was finally able to get you on, and excited about some of the things you're going to share. So if you will, please, sir, drop us an introduction. Let us know who you are, and we'll roll right through.
All right, cool. Well, first I got to say thank you, Keetria, for having me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And so I'm glad to be here. So let's see, what can I say about myself? Well, I'm originally born in the U.S. Virgin Islands. So an island boy. I had no idea that was a thing. But,
it is, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're familiar with, have you been to any of the Caribbean islands? Or?
You know what? I think Puerto Rico.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That's about the closest that I've and I don't know why I'm sitting here thinking about it, because I already know what the answer is. I think it's because of the visual, when you see yourself and you would take these mental vacations. I think I've been there mentally, but just not physically there. But tell us about it. What's happening over there?
Yeah, so the U.S. Virgin Islands, actually St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, it's, if you're familiar with like the old school way that they raise children up in in the United States stateside, so the village raises the child, that type of environment. So yeah. It's still like that. So it's kind of like the village raises a child. So I kind of grew up in that environment, and what can I say? It's it's a beautiful island, a lot of trees, a lot of fruits, a lot of beaches.
Oh, wow.
So but it's still U.S. territory. So you get both worlds.
The beauty of both worlds, yeah.
I've been there till about like 17, and then went over to college in Virginia. And one thing I gotta say, I don't know if it's kind of weird, but I've actually never heard the N-word till I was like 17.
Oh, really?
Never. Nope. When I head over to Virginia State, it's the first time I heard it. It was news to me. I was like, "What is this?" People were saying it. I was like, I don't know. So I never actually felt a strong offense to it. So
yeah,
it's kind of weird. So that's what's kind of like growing up in Ireland. Think of like reverse. I'm saying living in Africa, and there's not a whole lot of other races around, so you don't get that weird mix and vibe. So
yeah, I was just about to ask you that. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. That's actually what I had to say about that part. But yeah, that's pretty much where I grew up. Then kind of start going back and forth between here and Florida, Miami, and then Virginia, Maryland, where my other siblings live at. And so I don't know. I gotta say to anyone, you gotta take a trip down here, or take a trip out of the continental U.S.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so
you got to.
It's definitely gonna change your perspective on life in general and just how things are done.
Yeah, you know what, that's one of the things that definitely kind of draws me into the conversations that you and I have is, you being based in Japan, and I've been there, but I haven't had a chance to really explore like Tokyo, and you know what I mean. Like it's the difference between just kind of passing through and actually spending some time in the actual city and experiencing the culture. And thanks to you, I'm trying to work on my Japanese. I'm working on the Japanese, so I'll be ready for a test here. Give me to after the new year. Let me get all of the 2019 energy out, and then I'm gonna start fresh.
Test you for a bit, so.
Hey, it's getting there. It's getting there.
Actually, there's like this app out there called that I actually just recently discovered called Earth Lingo, and if you're familiar with like kind of virtual reality. How you go through a room in first person.
Yeah.
And there's like an app. I didn't make it, and I'm not sponsored by it. Nothing. Just an app that actually you go through the room and it asks you what's this. Like this is a bed. It'll say like in Japanese just bedo. So it'll say bedo, and then you have to click on the bed, and then it asks you some other object in the room, and it does that for houses, offices, cities, and that's pretty much how I actually try to keep my mind fresh on a language. But people should check it out, and that's definitely one way to learn and how to make the connection between your existing environment and how it would be said and viewed in Japanese. So.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a gem that we can use. I know, especially for me, I definitely, if I can see it and touch it and experience it as opposed to just kind of following an instruction manual. I definitely learn best that way, which is, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because I definitely want to talk about some of the things that you're creating on the tech side, because you've developed your own little applications, and I know you enjoy programming, and sometimes I look at your post and I'm like, what is he talking about? Because I'm not that type of person. I don't understand a lot of that coding language that you guys use, but give us the scope of what you do, and like I said, I know you're based in Japan. Give us an overview of who you are as a creative and what you're working on.
So, I've been in tech for about 9 years. First time I got introduced, actually, I was trying to make beats. So my mom gave me a MacBook Pro. I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit some beats.
Right.
I'm about to kill these beats right here. So I'm talking to these guys with Dunk Riders, or these people connected to what's his name out of Miami?
Khaled
guy.
Or.
Nah, he's a rapper. He's a popular guy. He was Khaled's go-to guy. And Trina?
Oh yeah, Trina. You Trick Daddy or
Trick Daddy? Yeah. He was running his own personal label, and I was actually working with one of his artists. And so I was like, oh yeah, I need a MacBook, and I got one. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do some MacBook. Then my brother hit me up like, you gotta work on some apps, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, yeah, man, you gotta work on some apps. Like, oh man. So he started to school me. My brother liked to teach stuff, so he's like kind of like a giving dude. So he's like, I'm gonna sit you down and I'm gonna teach you how to make apps. So he was basically, actually, he wasn't even in front of my face. I was learning apps through him via Skype and emails and text messaging. So that's how I actually picked up coding with just Objective-C back then. So From there, I was trying to really make some money, because it's just getting hot. I don't know if you ever heard of that $1 million app, iFart. That was the first big app that it sold $8 million, and he was like a 13-year-old boy.
That's definitely. I'm trying to figure out if I've heard of it, and I can honestly say that I have not. But nice to know that he did make a good lump sum of change off of it. So
So my brother kind of talked me into it, and then we were working back and forth. I was making some crazy stuff like bikini fight and all some weird kind of stuff. When you're not really you're not sure what to make. And after a while, I was working at a bank at the time, actually. I forget which bank. Citigroup? No, another bank. But pretty much, Citigroup. I was working at Citigroup at the time. And I was like, all right, so my brother got me onto it. So I was like, let me try this out. So after about 2 months, I decided, you know what? I see Angry Birds. You remember that game?
Oh, yeah.
Angry Birds?
Yeah.
Angry Birds. I saw Angry Birds. I'm like, man, I should make a silly little guide to this game. And so I made a guide for it. I was the first person actually in history to make the guide for Angry Birds, and everybody copied me later.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so now one thing led to another, and I just called my brother, like, we did it. It was like, I was like 300 downloads in a day, and it was like sale, and it was like $2.99 per sale, and then that was it. That's how I made my first 6 figures within that year. My brother won't let me leave my job at the bank for some reason, because he's like, it's like, no, you got to stay there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he didn't want you to lose it.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how I got into the app. So it was just really my brother kind of forced me to do it, and I'm like, oh, fine, I'll try it out. And then after that, it kind of got like just I got interested in messing around and create. I like creating stuff anyway, so I just took my creation that I usually create, beats, music, and I was like, let me do some creation over here on the app. So, and that was a good run for a while, for about 5 years, just straight good run. I made guides, made like location apps, games after a while. So it was a fun run. Then it got swamped. There's the big game, the $1 billion companies started coming in out of Finland. They just saturate. So I could talk all day on this. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, you're. Hey, this is. I'm soaking it up, and I'm pretty sure that there's somebody that's listening that's like, yeah, keep giving us all the information. Speaking of Finland, I've noticed there's a lot of different investors and different firms that are really getting into this, tech space and a lot of the development that's happening when it comes to like apps and programming. Okay, so is there like a specific category of apps that you like to do? Because I know you do like more music and interactive and entertainment-based stuff, but, do you have a preference on what you create?
Well, now actually, because I have this love for music, I'm starting to actually integrate the apps with the music. But initially, I was just testing to see what I can do. So I was doing games and seeing what type of guides I can make, or what kind of weird things I can make happen that can't be done in real life. But after a bit, recently, I've just merged the app world and the music, but pretty much in a different way. I got sick of the iOS restrictions. Oh, yeah. They have so much restrictions, and it changes on a monthly basis. I was like, man, I don't want to go back in that world. So Google Play is actually a better option on Android in reference to flexibility. But I still don't think I'm not good at developing in Java or Go, and so I'm still learning in that. I've done some classes, I've done boot camps, but I haven't got that urge like, this is where I'm at. So, which actually developers never actually reach, but I feel like I need to have some kind of mastery on it. So I need to continue studying. But basically, I was like, man, I'm done with specifically doing apps that's native to iOS and native to Android. So now there's this thing called web app and PWA. It's and you pretty much, it's an app that completely is web-based. It's your website, but if someone picks up their phone and go to your website, it completely looks like a native app on your phone.
Oh wow!
And your whatever you did to program it, which in my case, I'm programming in PHP and JavaScript for my site, and whatever you did to program that site, once you add the responsiveness to the PWA, it works across the platform. Looks like an app. You can put the app actually on your home screen, just like if it was native on iOS or Android, and you just do it once. And so that's where I'm at right now, and it's actually a game changer because people are still doing the mobile thing, but don't recognize that if you say I have an app store, and this kind of dilemma came up with, I have an app in the app store, and I said, go check out my app, because I had this app called Social Diction, which was like a kind of like a urban dictionary, but video. And so I released that, and I was telling people, check out my app. What's the name of it? Social Diction. They go check for it, and I can't find your app. It's like, what? It's right in there. So I type it in, I try to find my app. I can't find my app. So I'm like, wait a minute. Okay, so I have to go back to my account so I can get the link directly to my app, and I find my app. And then I kind of noticed that over time, the app store just got so cluttered that you can't even find any app that you type in besides Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what's the point of being in the App Store if I can't tell somebody, hey, go get my app? They have to point them, hey, go to my website and then click on that link to go back to the app to download the app. And now we're on the same page. So I was like, nah, we need to cut that out.
Yeah. Do you think that that's the reason why you have? So would you call web app more of it's not a software, right? Like it's more of a plug and play setup. Do you think that that's why they created something like web apps, because you have these stores that are overcrowded with different apps?
That's one of the reasons. Also, but the main reason is that your new iPhones are coming off like every 6 months. New iPhone. Yeah. So every time that new update, that throws your nice app that you just made a month ago out of whack. So now you have to go back and reprogram your app for the new iOS. And then they do it again every 6 months. And it's like, what the hell's going on? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I just made the app a month ago.
And it's done already. Right. We've had our end of the road.
Yeah. And then there's so many different Androids going out there. So many different types of Androids. You have Samsung doing one, and then another group doing one. And so there's so many Android, because Android is just a program that Google allows you to license you to put on your phone. And so there's so many different phones out there that you have like your app that's made native for one Android phone is not going to work properly on the next Android phone that's completely owned by a different company.
Oh, wow.
And so it's just a headache. I was like, nah, there's a better way to do this. And I started doing research and I found out I was like, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm going to start studying this and I will be dropping something on this way to the public. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm just like programming, but I'm connecting the music to the app, and I'm gonna release it to the world.
Yeah, and speaking of, I want to ask you, how you got started. I know you said your brother kind of pulled you into it, and I'm curious to know like some of the resources and classes that you've taken, because I'm sure that somebody may be listening that's interested in programming, but it's the rules, the regulations, it's complex, it's intimidating. Some people are hesitant to get started. So, but before I ask you that, I need to know, like, are you an Android person or are you a Apple person? Which one are you? Which one are you, Dale?
Apple person right now.
All right, okay.
Definitely Apple person, just because one of the benefits to having the app, the Apple stuff, is that it has a lot less viruses that you happen to stumble upon while doing your normal daily work, even looking on the internet or something like that. So there's always some kind of Trojan going in through the Android in the apps, and people are building apps. Like
why can't they fix that?
Android.
Why don't why do you think that remains an issue? Like, because that's the same story that I heard 5 years ago, the same story that I heard 10 years ago when you talk about the Windows platform versus the iOS, or the Mac versus all these other different products that are Windows based. Like, why do you or is it because it's like Windows based, or what is the issue that causes that to where these different viruses get in?
Well, it's definitely because it's Windows based, and because Windows is actually most of the population actually uses Windows. So if most of the population uses Windows, the hackers are going to go after Windows because they're trying to make the highest profit. So if Apple makes a lot of money, but if Apple was on most of the systems, then Apple would be the one getting attacked. It's just the company, which actually Apple gets attacked, but it's usually people who's trying to help the Apple purchasers get access to apps that were meant for Apple. So it's actually a community of helpers in the Apple world, and then in the Windows world, it's like two different sides: a community of helpers and the communities of hackers that's trying to hurt you. So it's actually because it's just Windows based. And I don't know personally if it's because Bill Gates only owns like 4% of the company, doesn't care. But I don't know.
Yeah, it could be anything.
It's a toss-up, really. But it's like that, in my opinion, from the wide research, it's just like that because most of the people own PCs, own Windows. So that's what the hackers want to go after. Companies especially, you don't see MacBooks in Fortune 500 companies. Now you're going to see a bunch of Windows products, and they want those. The government didn't have no MacBooks in there; they have Windows. So we want to hack Windows. The hackers know who to target because that's where the money's at.
I'm bringing my MacBook. I'm bringing my MacBook. It's it's good, it's trusty, it's durable, and hey, you can't tell the 2019 version from the 2017 sometimes because they produce them so quickly and put them on the market, but they're good.
Do people check out your MacBook or check you like that? Or it's like, yo, what version is that? What year is your MacBook?
Right, exactly. You know what? They don't, but I remember when I first started DJing, and that's where I had like the digital controller, and then you have like your computer, your laptop or whatever that goes with it. And I think maybe I was planning on upgrading to like, I don't know, like the latest version, but I had a like 2007. You remember the old MacBook that was like the big thick one that was heavy and white? So it's yeah. So I get up there and set up, and I pull that one out and and look over, and this other DJ has like a nice sleek thin. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm a few years behind, but hey, I'm gonna catch up. I'll get it together. But yeah, I try to stay. I try to stay up to date. Nobody's really specifically looking, but I do notice like when they do come out and you kind of upgrade, really like to me, maybe after the 3 to 4 year mark, you're already upgrading the software anyway. Like if they have a new update, you're already getting that. But the actual system in itself, the whole, laptop, maybe definitely after like 5 years or something like that, I try to make sure because they have so much more to offer. The screen looks better. There's different resolutions and the speed.
They force you into it anyway, because after
they're gonna slow it down.
You can't. Right. Your browser Safari doesn't work anymore. And it's like, damn, what's happening?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I still, every now and then I still have that 2007 version white MacBook. I'll try it. Like I'll go in there just to see. Like, hey, let me see if I can rearrange a few things and get it going. But no, I really need to just go ahead and recycle it. I guess I'm keeping it for some type of history museum to show the evolution of Mac. But let me ask you this, because see, we'll go back and forth with this conversation for a while. I want
before you go on that one, with your MacBook, got to give you guys a tip. Look up DOSDude.com. That's DOSDUDE1.com, and he could upgrade your Mac. Just follow the instructions. Really simple. You can upgrade your Mac from like a 2009 up to current, and you get all the functions. So I mean, as I said, there's plenty of people out there trying to help the Mac folks, because Apple is kind of digging in your pockets.
Hey,
$2,000 a piece. So
exactly. Hey guys, you better go ahead and I'm gonna have you drop that again, Dale, because I know if anybody gets a hold of this and they start trying to petition against to take it down, that's gonna be it. Now I'm stuck. It can't do me any justice with my 2007 version. But for everybody that's listening, drop that website again.
It's DOS, like DOS, Dude, DUDE, the number 1. So DOSDude1.com. And he hook you up to whatever level it's, where it's a Mojave today. I'm Catalina, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but he
I think it's
pulls
Catalina.
you from wherever you're at back from 2000, from Snow Leopard. He brings you from then up to today.
Oh, God.
And it's free.
Yeah, I definitely need to do that. Yeah, that's Snow Leopard. Yeah, okay. Well, we'll move on. We'll save this for our own conversations. But okay. So, say for instance, there's somebody that is interested in getting started with programming or just creating an app. Like, what's a good role to take? Like something that's not necessarily practical, but what would be a good route for somebody who's just starting?
Just starting, you're always going to go to Udemy, those learning on Skillshare. But my favorite is this one girl on Udemy. I forgot her name, but she's number 1 on the list. So it's like if you type in programming, say iOS development, she's number 1. I think she's from Taiwan or Vietnam, I'm not sure. But once you type in iOS development, she comes up as the top number 1, and she have like a 4.9 out of 5. Rating. She's really good, and so I would recommend check that out. There's books like how to think like a programmer, which you're gonna need, But the way I learned it and how I think people learn it, people always say, just try it, just do it.
Yeah.
So, and that kind of is like a double-edged sword, because you're like, just do what?
Yeah, that's true, right?
So you just go get any type of Udemy course, or any type of course that's related to it, and just go through it and practice the syntax that they're showing you. Actually just going along with them, and you're like, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. Just keep doing it, and then after you finish, do it again. Like, I would recommend doing it about 3 times, and then talk to people that's in that. Like on Twitter, I talk to people like that. So you kind of just need a community around you just to keep you motivated, and that's pretty much it. But I do recommend like a Udemy and Skillshare, because those sites just get you started, and then you have to get in the right programming mind. And so that's the part that's difficult, is how do I think like a programmer? There's books on it called How to Think Like a Programmer.
Exactly.
So, and those help. So if you get the first thing to do, Udemy, next get the How to Think Like a Programmer book, and then just keep doing it over and over. And that should be able to get you into the door if you're trying to get an IT job as a programmer.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, because I know like now they have different IT jobs that don't require a 4-year degree or, a master's and all this other stuff. So you got kids that are coming straight out of high school with these skills, and being able to program, getting some nice 6-figure jobs.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I think they max out at like $120K for like the top programmer. I could be wrong, but I know they're not going above $250,000 a year. That's definitely a cap. Above that, you got to go into finance.
Yeah, that's that's still a significant amount of money. So hey, I'll take it. Hey, but let's talk about this though. Dale, I want to talk about Beammob. I know it's top secret, so I'm not trying to put you on the spot, but give us just a little bit. I know we're getting ready to wind down the interview, and I want people to understand what you have coming. I know it's a game changer for you, so make sure that you hype it up as best as you can. 'Cause I'm looking forward to you.
That's the project I'm working on. That's my baby. I actually never felt like I had a baby project till this one. So I started programming from scratch, and then let's see. So it's kind of hard to describe, but I need to figure out how to describe it. But it's still in the process of being made, so I haven't really sat down and how to explain it.
Yeah.
And as a whole, but I do have specific parts of it I can explain. So. In general, it's an enhanced music and podcast platform. So your regular platforms like Spotify and iTunes. This one's like an enhanced one. So what can I say about it right now is like, do you know Grant Cardone? Grant Cardone.
Oh, yeah, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So a big real estate guy. So he was on a podcast, and I think he summed it up the best when he says, the way to make a true fan is to send them money every month. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he said, the way to make a true fan is to send them money every month. And so pretty much that's the theme of Beammob. So we're focusing on serving the fans and rewarding true fans directly with currency. So that's the theme. And then everything else kind of falls on that, from the different features and the opportunity to actually show up as a number one fan and actually get recognized as the number one fan. If you contribute so much into this one artist, you should be recognized. A lot of fans just don't get recognized for their loyalty, and so Beammob is here for that, and podcast platform as well. It has some more twists that I'm going to be adding to make sure the podcast community gets properly represented. So I'm excited about it, because it's definitely never been done before, and definitely not like this. So
yeah, no, I'm
excited.
I'm excited for you too, because I know it's going to be huge. Do you have like an anticipated launch date for it?
Actually, if you go to beammob.com right now, it has the actual countdown right there.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to beat that, and that's like about, I think, I haven't checked it in a while, so I'm guessing it's about in a month. It should be ready, which I'm working on it tediously. So yeah, so about a month, 30 days, I should get the beta version out, and it's only going to be to invited few. I'm sorry, it's not going to be
exclusive.
Open to the. It's not going to be open to the full community. It's only true invite only. And how it's going to work is that, for example, I only have whoever signed up on the email list right now. I'm gonna So I'm going to go ahead and send a code out to you to sign up and check out the site and play with it as an artist or podcaster. Now, the general community, they can actually sign up without a code because, of course, that's the fans. I don't want to restrict the fans, but I want to restrict and make sure the content that's coming into the website to be high quality and to be valuable for the fans, because it's gonna pay the fans back. So you need to give the fans what they want.
Exactly. Yeah. Give us the URL for that.
Beammob. That's www.beam. That's like laser beam, just BEAM. Mob, like mobile, not the gangsters.
Yeah.
Beammob, BEAMMOB.
Perfect. All right, you guys, make sure you go and sign up. And then tell us, you think you're getting off the hook, Dale, but I'm gonna, Scott, I'm gonna put you on blast again about the music. I recently had a chance to check out one of your latest tracks that got placement in a film. So give us a little bit about what you're doing on the music end of things before we get ready to close out. Because I know you have some good projects in the works, from what I've heard. So
yeah. Oh, yeah. So the film was she's just a shadow of my one of my members in my group. He actually acted in a movie, so he had to connect. He actually had to connect, and they heard our music, and they was like, yeah, we definitely want to do it, and we want to put you actually on the official DVD. So it's going to be released in an official DVD as a extra CD, and they're going to be on sale in Japan only, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's one of the projects actually just wrapping up, and then my personal project is coming on soon. It's going to be exclusively on Beammob, and then I have a bunch of other artists ready to go that's going to be releasing some music on Beammob. So there's going to be a lot of exclusive stuff on Beammob, and you're going to really enjoy the playlist and how the playlist is actually done. It's really playlist driven and given, again, the focus of the fans. So, if you're a fan that like to mess with playlists, then, you might be up there, what I'm saying? So, yeah, so the music, again, I'm just working on my album is actually done. I'm just trying to master it. And then I'm working with new guys. I have this other guy out in Maryland. He's like 20 years old. And so we're trying to get him to feature on some tracks so we can, try to take over this. But Beammob is going to be it. That's going to be the movement. And the music is going to just be like a vessel to make sure that it's done right,
Yeah, that's perfect. I know you have your hands full for the remainder of the year and going into 2020, because you also do production too, right?
Yeah. So I produce I release a lot of productions. Well, actually, I'm an introvert, so I don't really go out there and like, hey, listen to my beat.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I do produce.
I get it.
And if I see a dude or a girl that really like dropping some flames, I'm like, yo, check this beat, see if you can do something to it. If they can, good, but I'm a businessman. I understand people don't have time, or they're not driven, or they look at me and like, yeah, I see what you're doing with the music and stuff, but I'm going another way. So it'd be up to them. But I just try to just to show love to everybody in reference to sending out beats. And if I feel them, I'm gonna try to holler at them, see if they could jump on a track or we can collab. I gotta ask you though about your Japan trip. I didn't know you actually went to Japan. What did you do in Japan?
You know what? We were actually, this was, I think, 2008. It was on a tour. So just kind of working with these different artists. We didn't get a chance to get into the city, though, So it's like kind of being on the airport on the outskirts and just kind of longing for that wonderful cultural experience that I didn't get so many years ago. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I'll definitely have to tell you about it, because that's why I was asking you last month, like, hey, when I come over, you're gonna have to make sure that you give me all of these, because I got this, the little guides that they give you when you go, you go to the airport and you get these different city guides. I have my guide. I just didn't get to formally explore anything. So yeah, we definitely have to talk about that here. In a second.
I'm curious to whether or not you haven't tried sushi, sashimi, and all that stuff, yeah?
Well, you know what? there's a great store here called HEB and another one called Kroger's that, this thing.
No way, you're kidding me.
Hey, well, you know what?
That would piss some Japanese people off if they knew exactly what you said.
You know what? And no disrespect, because I love the culture. I love the Japanese culture. I love the people. It's just I just don't know enough to really compare it to anything. That's about the closest that I've gotten to it, and I know that's just about as crazy as people saying that, hey, you stay in Texas, did you see any horses, or it's just you know what I'm saying? So hey, I get it, but yeah, we're gonna talk after this.
Cool.
Scott Dale, let me give us some words of advice, words of encouragement for anybody that's wanting to follow their dreams, because I know from experience what you're doing there where you are, and just admire you as a person and see the moves that you're making, and excited for everything that you're doing. So drop some gems for us before we wrap up.
Okay, so for my personal experience, what I had to kind of find myself. People kind of like, oh yeah, find yourself, but you really have to take the time to actually find yourself, whether or not be reading or what's not. I actually just recently, last few years, got into meditation. So
wow, yeah.
I would say your journey is to find yourself, and once you find yourself, then you'll be happy. And how do you find yourself? You try different things, travel different places. You let other people tell you how they view you. So like, then you're going to remember what's your core. You're going to see how this person views you. Like say, for example, you go to Japan, they view you a completely different way. You go to Brazil, they view you a different way, and they're going to treat you a different way. So now you're kind of getting a clearer idea of what you're putting out into the world.
Yeah. And
so you have a clearer idea of who you are. And so now no one can shake you and anything. No one can shake you from your goals now that you know exactly who you are. It's like, I get a million ideas other than Beammob every day from different people, but I know to stick to Beammob because now I know who I am.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. So my advice is just travel, try to figure out yourself, and that's by traveling, reading books, meeting new people. That's out of your your immediate circle, so you could learn the energy that you're putting off, so you can figure out how people view your energy and tell you about it. So that'll be my advice.
Perfect. All right, perfect. So as we wrap up, let us know where we can reach you online, website, anything you want to share.
Cool. I'm on Instagram. It's ESCOTH, so ESCOTH, and then the letter X, like Malcolm X. And same thing on actually Twitter. I'm a little different. It's Randell Escoth, which is RANDELLESCOTH. Or you could just like shoot me an email, Gmail stuff. I'm pretty common guy. escothworld@gmail.com. That's how you can reach out to me. Yeah.
All right, perfect. Sounds good, Dale. So we appreciate you taking the time to visit with us today. Much success for the coming year, and we look forward to touching base with you soon. Take care.
All right, thanks.
Thanks for hanging out with us here on SOB. We hope this episode has been resourceful. If you'd like to check out the latest articles or follow Keetria's website updates, just log on to Keetria.com or follow her on Twitter at KEETRIA.